ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਹੋਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਬੈਕ ਟੂ ਦਾ ਪੁਲ ਕਿਤਾਬੀ ਵਲੌਗ ਚੈਨਲ। ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਵੇਂ ਗੈਸਟ ਲਿਆਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੋਡਕਾਸਟ ਦਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਤੇ ਬਾਈ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਹੀ, he can't be able to understand my Punjabi, but he's looking at me.
Just nod and wave. Just nod and wave.
I'm just doing my introduction, so you should say Sat Shri Akal ji. Yeah, Sat Shri Akal ji. Welcome back to the podcast. Oh,
I thought it'd be
welcome to the podcast. So today we are shooting podcast with Eric and my brother who is AB.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ। He is my friend and my personal trainer Eric from Anytime Fitness on Roper Road, and we know each other from past a year now, or what?
I'd say about a year.
Yeah, about a year. I recently started training with him, and he's a certified MMA fighter and a personal trainer as well. And Eric, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Sat Shri Akal. So yeah, as you said, my name's Eric and personal trainer. Here at Anytime Fitness. Also started out boxing and then moved into MMA, so I do that as well. Basically, love to personal train. I love to lift weights. I love to work out. And my passion really lies with all the personal training, and watching people grow in their journeys is the biggest step for me when it came to coming into the personal training space. So yeah, and side note too, I like animals. There you go. There's your fun fact.
That's good. That's good. So, like, if we want to know more about Eric, at what age did you started like personal training, or at what age actually Eric came to know that okay, this is my thing. I want to pursue this in a profession. Like, I want to know about the MMA and PT both.
For sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So, like any boy growing up in high school, you turn 14, 15 years old, and the first thing that goes on your mind is, wow, I want to look better for the girls. Was like you turn 15 and you look at your arm and you go, wow, it would be cool if I looked like Christian Bale or Chris Hemsworth or something like that. So, starting at a young age, about 15, played sports and stuff. But one time when I was younger, a girl called me Pudgy, and I took that personally through the rest of my life.
Okay.
So I hit the gym, and like anybody, I had no idea what I was doing at that age. And as I recommend now, get a personal trainer when you start out, because I had no idea what I was doing. But that's where it really started. And over the years of working out, after I would say 5 years of just consistently having no idea what was going on, I realized, okay, if this helped me this much, build this confidence and all that, I could help it with other people. And it's a huge change and I know we'll get into it later, but just with the mental health aspect, your body feeling good. And as much as I wanted to believe it would help with the girls, it doesn't. It's all about your personality and how you are, but it helps to look better too, right? And then along with the boxing and MMA, started out at 15. My big thing was I wanted to learn how to defend myself. I grew up in a town that wasn't necessarily known for being the safest place. So for me, it was I wanted to defend myself, and then I fell in love with it. And it wasn't for me mostly the part of punching stuff like most people. You think anger management, I'm going to defend. But it turned out I really enjoyed the IQ and learning about it as well. And then slowly through the years, I think about 19, 20 years old, did transition to the MMA, started learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and we went from there.
No, that's good. That's good. And you told me one day, like, you went to Vancouver or somewhere for the professional thing, and you have like achieved something in MMA.
Yeah.
Can you please tell the audience?
Yes. So basically, I fight with promotion in Vancouver, and was an amateur forever. Before this, the world basically shut down. I was about to make my professional debut, but it never happened. And there's always a time later to do that in life. But for now, it has been on the back burner a little bit because my passion has lied with the training.
Prayers are going towards you from our side and from my family to you, man, that you become a professional fighter, and we can say that, okay, one day I'll say that, oh, I know Eric. Yeah, we had a podcast with him.
Yeah, and I'll sign some autographs after. And when I'm famous, you guys can, yeah, absolutely.
I know the day you become a famous or become a professional MMA fighter and get all the fame with all the money and girls by your side, you'll say, hey, my G, how you doing? I know you'll be still say, well, no, you
Hey, listen, you'll be my friend when I'm rich and famous. That keeps me grounded, right?
That's what I want to hear, man. That's what I want to hear. And that's a good thing about you. That's what I like about you. Like, even when I started the gym, if you remember, I was a little fat kid when I came first and walking like this. And I was like, okay, I had a big tummy out. And I was like, okay, can someone please help me in getting this thing in shape? And he was the first person who came, yeah, for sure. And I can help. And Eric, with this, I have a question for you actually. So we know like people on the internet, they will use TikTok and all that stuff and watching like couple of videos on Instagram and all on the social media. And they will think that this is the thing. Okay, I'm a personal trainer too. I can train anyone and all that stuff. So like, did you went to school for PT?
Yeah, so that's actually one really big topic in the fitness industry right now in general. It's the, we call it the influencer market or the TikTok trainers. And it's all about people who will look really good, maybe take some steroids or have really good genetics, and then they just want clicks. So they're going to do outlandish workouts or stuff that looks great on camera, but not necessarily works the best or is dangerous. And that's just because they don't have those certifications. So I went to college here in Canada. I did a 2-year program for personal training and nutrition. And then I went and got a company called CSEP, which is basically our base of trainers, and got CSEP certified. Canadian Special Education Program, I believe, is it? But to be honest, I just know it as CSEP. After that, I wanted to expand my horizons. So I went and got certified through NASM, which is a locally, or not locally, commonly worldwide known.
I know about them. I have heard about them.
Most people know NASM. And I got certified through them, not only with the personal training, but also with being able to work with injuries and corrective exercise specializations. As well, on top of that, I also went and got my strength training certification. And there's a couple more smaller ones in there, but they all really tie together. I think in total it's out to about 12 certifications.
That's good. That's good.
I always tell people, if you can think it and want to learn it, I am certified to do it. And that is, right, you said, the big thing with social media is clicks.
Yeah, because like I have seen a lot of my friends as well. They're like, okay, I can provide personal training to you and all that stuff. But I'm like, I have never seen any kind of certification or any proper knowledge coming from their side. Oh, you can do this. Okay, just give me a minute and they will figure it out. I'm like, you need to have proper knowledge, I believe. Like, yeah, because today we live in a world where everyone thinks they are very smart, but like you need to use some common sense. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I think the biggest thing for me and everybody else that you learn going into this industry and even just being in the gym alone is everybody's body's different. Whereas I'm not going to train someone who's 70 years old with a hip problem the same way as I would train someone who's 22 and becoming an athlete. But if you're not certified to know that everybody has a different body type, you're going to train them how you would train. And absolutely, I'm not taking Granny to the bench press, repping out that 225 off the start and crushing her out of her own weight. And it's just basic things like that where it is common sense, but at the end of the day, you need to know what body type you're dealing with, who you're dealing with, how their body reacts. And I think that's a big misunderstanding is, oh, I'm doing this crazy workout that's going to get clicks. I can give you an online program and they'll give them exactly what they've been doing for years. That worked for them, but it has no use or work towards someone who maybe has issues that will not allow their body to work that way. And their body types are different, right? I'm not going to put you on a program where you're going to be becoming a powerlifter and strongman because your body type was just not that body type. So
fair. That's good. Thanks for telling me that as well. And you have a question?
Yeah. So, like, I eat a lot of junk food, as you already. So, what are the benefits of eating junk food?
Well, first off, when it comes to junk food, I can say right off the bat, the benefit tastes delicious, right? Who doesn't want something delicious? And the old saying goes is if it tastes good, it's probably not good for you, unfortunately. Junk food in general, I always say in moderation is okay. And the reason I'm saying that is I use a principle called 80-20. So 80% of the time, you try to eat healthy, right?
Yeah.
20% of the time, you got to reward yourself because you get on this diet plan or chicken and rice, right? Or broccoli or salads, and you're going to get discouraged because it does not taste good. And as long as you are following the proper guides or account for putting that pizza, which I know you guys love, into
Pizza is love.
So we just want to let you know we are having a pizza later on tonight.
make sure you track it in your meals, my friend. But even that, it's, understanding, hey, I eat 5 slices when I have a pizza, let's say. Yeah, you can have a pizza, but let's cut that down to 2 slices.
Yeah.
Or get that cauliflower crust, right? It might not taste as good, but it's still the pizza. You want a bag of chips? Maybe switch it out with something a little healthier, like don't get the dill pickle extreme with thousands of seasonings on it and 1,000 milligrams of salt. Why don't you just get the regular dill pickles and portion only half a bowl? I always say it's portion control over everything.
I remember, I used to eat pizza a lot when I started PT, and he told me the micro habits you can change. That will be a small step. I took it. So I used to have a whole pizza by myself. Now what I can have, 2 slices, max 3, and I'm done.
Yeah. Right? And that's
Easy life.
yeah, and even that too, it's I always tell it's a small steps.
Yeah.
So small steps towards big goals. And even if you're eating, like I said, that whole pizza by yourself, it's probably not okay, right? But at the end of the day, it's hard to just cut out the pizza. A lot of people, they can do it. It's just all of a sudden, bang, I need no pizza, and then you're like, you're kind of like an addict. You're like, I need it. I'm craving it, right? So slowly bring it up.
Okay.
And that's where those micro habits will come into play. So to answer your question is, how can I eat junk food? You can still do it. It's not all about chicken, rice, and broccoli, but kid, just stop eating the whole bag of chips a night, and you'll be better.
For sure. So we are talking about the nutrition right now, Eric. So can you please tell the audience benefits of eating healthy right now? Why don't we cover that topic?
Yeah, exactly. For sure. And you know what? I know that you wanted me to dive a little more into it as well.
Yeah.
Because you see on the lines where carbs are evil, or, there's so many fads out there where it's like, you can't eat any sugars. And, it's all about, like I said, it all goes back to clicks, right?
Yeah.
What gets the clicks? How fast can I lose the weight so they understand that, if you lose 60 pounds in a month, it's not going to be healthy.
Okay.
But it looks good for advertising, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to nutrition, I always say it's a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys drive a car, right? What do you put in there when you're at the gas station?
Gas.
Yeah, but if you put in not the greatest gas, what happens to your car?
That's going to die soon.
And it doesn't run as good. So it's the same as nutrition, where you need to put the proper things in your body to fuel it in order to go longer and be able to sustain your lifestyle. When it comes to nutrition, the 3 things that I'll quickly
For sure.
go on with you guys is carbs.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they're evil, but they're not. That's energy. Carbs are an energy source, and that's what your body uses to produce really your energy right off the start.
Okay.
So when you cut out carbs, unless you're going on a stage, posing in front of people at 3% body fat, you don't need to cut out carbs completely. It's just going to make you extremely lethargic and tired. Mm-hmm. And keto is something where people don't eat carbs, and you'll go into ketosis. Now, some bodies are meant for it. Some bodies don't work that way.
Okay.
So carbs are your friend, not your enemy. Just don't have too many because they expand. So when you eat that pizza, think of it as that one slice will expand in your stomach because carbs expand. Bread expands, all that.
So what are the food that has carbs? Give me an example, like pizza.
Yeah,
carbs.
Any bread, anything that comes from a grain. There is small amounts of carbs in fruits and stuff like that. I think the big one in today is beer. Beer has so much carbs, right? And I know not a lot of, not that many people drink. Some people do, but it's common in our society nowadays. Yeah. I think one beer is equivalent to almost 4 to 7 slices of bread.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So it's that's too much carbs, right? You put 4 slices of bread in you, how much is that going to expand?
Exactly.
And if your body can't burn off that amount of carbs, it just stores itself. And that's why you'll get fatter. Okay. So, like I said, carbs, don't cut them out, but don't eat too much. There is a moderation line.
You need to have a proper amount of carbs that is needed, and that is a source of energy, we can say.
Exactly, right? Like if you're going for a walk or a run or lifting some weights, the first thing that's going to be used up is carbs as an energy source. You can go into more detail depending on how you're training, but in general, carbs are what are used. So that's why when you cut carbs and you come into the gym and try to work out, you might feel so exhausted.
Oh, okay.
You can usually lift 30 pounds, but today you're having trouble even lifting 10. And that's because your body does not have the energy. And that's why, bodybuilders can get down to that really low 6% body fat when they go on stage because they don't use carbs. So there's no inflation there.
Oh, gotcha. Thanks.
So nowadays people drink a lot of soft drinks like tea.
Yeah.
And I love Pepsi as well. So how it gonna affect our health? Can you please explain?
Oh, the soda epidemic. Yeah. Basically, it's the sugars, right? And we'll get to you diet people in a second. But when it comes to just soft drinks in general, originally, it's all the sugars, right? So they throw so much sugar in there because basically it's water and sugar with some flavoring and carbonation. And that sugar stores as fat.
Okay.
So if you eat enough sugar, some of it will burn off as energy, right? Using the sugar systems in your body. For example, if you're walking on the treadmill and your heartbeat doesn't get over, I think it's 110 beats per minute, all you're doing is burning sugar.
Okay.
Okay.
I never knew it.
Science for you today. There's a lesson. I'll charge you. But that's the thing is sodas are so filled with sugar that there's so much going in. And how easy is it to drink just 4 or 5 sodas in a row, right? And portion sizes get bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're putting so much sugar in there, your body's not going to burn it off. And then it goes into basically your natural animal instincts and says, well, I need this for later if all of a sudden I can't eat for days and days and days. So it stores it as fat. Oh. And then that's why sugar can make it so that you can get so much fatter because it basically turns into a fat storage after a while.
Oh.
Yeah. And diet is aspartame, and don't even get me started with that. It's just as bad. That's a whole other topic.
So we were actually talking about carbs. We didn't talk about proteins.
Yes.
I want to cover that thing because like the audience right now who are watching, I want them to actually know properly about benefits of eating healthy and what are protein, what are carbs. And like I want audience to know more in detail. So what is protein basically?
Yeah, so when we cover carbs, now we'll go to proteins. When it comes to proteins, I want you to think of when you're lifting the weights, right? What happens in your body is your muscle fibers will tear. And people go, oh my God, I'm tearing my muscle. Yeah. What happens is you'll tear that muscle.